Hi everyone, Nicholas Barrow here. This video is going to be specifically for their chamber leaders, being the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House, as well as the chief clerks and parliamentarians in both chamber. And this video will be going over how to build the agenda and how to input final votes for bills that are passed in General Assembly. The process is very similar to the committee video if you've seen that, but we're just going to go over it for you just in case. Like the committee video, I created a demo Senate administration account, so that being the Senate president, so you can, when you go ahead and log in, you will see this portal as well under your users tab, and then all you have to do is scroll down to access in your portal and open it. Now note here, you're going to be given access to both the House and the Senate portal. Same thing for the Speaker of the House. The Speaker has access to his own chamber and the Senate one, because remember, on the day of General Assembly, if a bill is passed in the opposite chamber, it needs to be put in there. So we're going to start here pretending, obviously, that we're on bill number 4 and we want to build an agenda to hear all of the bills that are in the Senate. So if you notice here, for my example, go all the way to the bottom, we only have one. So under the chamber hearing order, this is just going to be one, and that's it. So all you have to do is for every bill that's listed that is a passage, you need to give it an assignment. So you will see all of the bills, but all you have to do is assign a number to the ones that have passed, because obviously you can't hear a bill in General Assembly that didn't pass committee. So, if a bill was either passed with amendments, or unheard, it is your responsibility and you are required to give it a hearing order. It doesn't have to be first, it can be last, but you're required to still put it in your agenda. Every bill that passes committee must be in your agenda. So in this example, you can go ahead, you can go explore the bill, you can look at it and you can say, man, I think this is kind of time consuming. I see that it was passed with amendments. Let's go ahead and take a look at the amendments that were passed on this bill. And ultimately, if you can make the decision that I think it's going to be kind of time consuming, let's call this one, 10 on our agenda. So that's it. Once you've done this for every bill, that is your agenda. It is built. It is done. The next thing that we're going to pretend here is that we're in the General Assembly and you have to now put in the chamber action. So, let's say it was, this is really probably something more that'll probably be for your chief clerk, or if you don't have one, maybe a parliamentarian can help you out, or if not, you're kind of stuck doing it yourself. But very simple. All you have to do is now, when you're hearing all of these bills, simply just go back in and put in how it was passed. So for this example, we'll do passed and then we'll go over amendments later. But that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, the only additional thing that committees don't have to do is there's an opposite chamber. So in this little example, I've been pretending to be the Speaker of the House. Well, I'm pretending to be the President of the Senate. Now, let's say, for example, that the Speaker of the House now wants to hear this bill because, let's say, he's going through his House agenda, he has his House agenda all put in here, and the Speaker is going through bills that were done on the day of. Now let's say that the Speaker he goes over and goes in the Senate and says, oh look, Senate Bill number 4 has passed, and then the Speaker is going to announce to the entire room, we're going to pull from the Senate, next is Senate Bill number 4. The Speaker can go in, he can open the bill, he can see the amendments, he can see that there were no amendments passed on this bill in the Senate. If there were, remember, anyone in the House can view them. But then ultimately, after the Speaker is done hearing this bill, because he's the opposite chamber from where this is introduced, this is a Senate bill, he is the opposite chamber, he can go in and then put in the final action of how it was, handled. Let's say it's passed here. Ultimately, now everything has happened. Once this form refreshes, it takes a little bit. This last one passed into law. That will automatically change to yes. It just takes a couple minutes to refresh. I mean, we can see if I can force it to do it here. But ultimately, that's every part of the job. So, each chamber is only responsible for their own and the opposite chamber's actions. So likewise, in my first example, the President of the Senate could go in and say, okay, we're going to now hear House 3. and after it, let's say it was tabled, and then let's say that the next bill that the Senate heard was House 2, and that one happened to pass. And like I said, these will update automatically, and then these will also reflect on. And notice it did it in this one. It just changed to yes here. Let's see if it did it in the Senate. Still hasn't done it yet, but we're just gonna wait for that to go ahead and want to update. But that's basically it. That's how you guys are going to do your agendas, and that's how you guys are going to input final actions. Now, like I said, you're always going to want to be careful that you're in the right chamber. And likewise, the speaker is only going to edit the Senate's opposite chamber column, and the president of the Senate is only going to edit the House's opposite chamber column. And that's about it. So I'll wrap up this video, and then make sure you check out the amendment video. Slightly different process, but it's close enough to the same thing. Thanks for watching, guys.